Not
Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands AP here on twitch.tv/tabletop rules. Zoe is having computer issues. And by computer issues, I mean it is crashing repeatedly. So Zoe will be with us momentarily once they can get that sorted. But we are now going to begin our pre-show announcements. This is your pre-game, if you will. It is beginning with this. Our shows on the channel. We have many other shows on the channel, like the League of Amazing Adventurers on Wednesday. They are about to do, and this is the best part, I'm currently actually ahead in my prep work for everything, so I have an idea as to where everyone's going to be. On Wednesday, we are fighting off, we are going to be facing off with on Wednesday, Garl's favored enemy. The enemy Garl loves to fight more than any other enemy. Then on Friday...
I have a vague feeling. Oh, wait, I know what this is, yeah.
Then on Friday, we are going to be playing the Calling Chronicle. It's our D&D 5e show. Yes, we play both D&D and Pathfinder on here. Both tabletop RPGs are fun, and you can play them both and enjoy them both. On Friday, we're doing the Calling Chronicle. There's sky pirates and sea pirates and other fun sea encounters and other fun sky encounters like pirate dragons. Oops, did I say that out loud before the players met that? I guess I did. But yes, pirate dragons.
Are land pirates just bandits?
Yes. Then, of course, on Saturday, we have Salt and Sorcery. Matt and I are going to continue playing Outward. Hey, any new Outward folks that joining the stream today because of that stream, welcome to the party. If you want to see Matt and I bumble through that game together, you can. We're handling ourselves decently well, I'd say, Matt.
We've settled on a strategy where we draw people in with some light arrows to the face, and then I run in weird circles trying to hit them as they are bizarrely good at lunging at you.
Yeah.
I'd like to also point out I was playing that entire game that night with my computer that every now and then would skip a couple seconds. So it was kind of annoying.
That's Will and Matt doing that together. Then on Sunday, we have a nice relaxing end to the week, or start of the week, depending on where you've put the start and end of your week. We have Stardew Sunday, where I've been playing Stardew Valley. And I've been relaxing and enjoying myself and not optimizing it to the level I normally optimize Stardew Valley. It's been really weird.
The fact that you have to point that out is a little concerning.
I normally optimize the fun out of that game. Yeah. It looks like Zoe was actually going to have to take their computer in to get it fixed. So it might just be the three of us tonight.
That's so sad. It was literally, she was in the Zoom call and froze and dropped. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
And Zoe had some amazing makeup and hair buns going on. Also, because it's June, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
We're going to continue saying that at the start of every stream.
Until it becomes Wrath.
Also, happy belated Juneteenth.
Zoe said to puppet them along if they can't get it working.
Well, I don't suppose there's a way she could just join on her phone and you could still puppet her?
Oh, that's a very good question. Someone type that into our Facebook chat.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
But yeah, so we have all that stuff going on. And then, of course, we have some upcoming shows, like on Thursday nights in a few months. We're probably going to be getting started with a Pathfinder Society show. So if you've ever had interest in the story for Pathfinder Society or that gameplay, come and join us. Chad's going to play it, and Chad's making their first PF2 character. They've been exclusively 5e for a long time, and they're really excited to try it out. So come and check that out. Matt's going to drop in and out.
I may be there occasionally doing a variety of silly voices.
And my internet connection was unstable for a second, so sorry if I turned into a robot.
It's the heat.
Yeah, you're just freezing a little bit, Will. Just a tiny bit, but your audio is still coming through fine.
Yeah, it's literally the heat. It's disgustingly hot in Canada.
Love that Canadian heat.
Yes. So that's all of our pre-game announcements. I guess. Oh, one more pre-game announcement. We'll have some background music when we start the game. That's provided by Sirenscape. Thanks, Sirenscape, for the awesome music. Here's
like
here's the credits for it, if you're so inclined. Boom.
It sounds like we got a sponsor.
They are not sponsoring us. They're just letting us use the music.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Dark Pulse Cola. Quench your thirst.
All right.
It's brought to you by NordVPN.
I wish.
God.
Listen, if we ever get a sponsorship, I promise you, Sam Riegel levels of shenanigans.
Oh God!
I promise you, I am going to be so extra.
Don't drink any booze/dairy. It'll curdle in your stomach.
I am going to be so extra with it. It is going to be amazing. But with that,
I was gonna say.
Matt,
Go ahead.
Why
Will.
don't you introduce our players, and then I will roll the intro.
Speaking of shenanigans, something that occasionally happens when there are bats in the belfry. McKenna,
Bye. That's me.
who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing Avi Avi, the Nictera Witch. Here to, I don't know, maybe get some potions and something tonight.
Oh, okay. Speaking of potions, a thing that a wizard might concoct in a cauldron or a magical laboratory. Aaron, who are you playing tonight?
Hello, I'm playing Aerith, a wonderful cat person that loves food very much. If you notice, I am missing my hat today. And of course, my lovely musketeer, Bob. Bob says he needs to take a vacation. So, you know what?
Aw.
Yeah, he's a little scared about all the adventures we've been taking lately. So he likes to take a little musketeer vacation. You know what? I let him have it. He's
I was going to
enjoying
say, I'm not sure that's in his contract.
Oh well, I mean, he is very headstrong about his vacation days, so I just let him have it. He doesn't have any sick days. He has vacation days. I'll just let him have it.
And with that, Aaron is nicer than some major corporations.
I'm a good boss.
That's not a very high bar to set. But speaking of,
Ha! And I seamlessly swapped
a miracle.
Over.
We're gonna try it.
We're going to try
Hell
it.
All right,
yeah!
here we go.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
All
And
right,
speaking of miracles, Zoe, who are you playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Zoe, and I don't know anything about technology, and neither does Ophelia. My character is SAP. She's our Whisper Elf Bard, and she loves all things lovely and cute and singy and not computery or breaky.
So, like, vocalizers or reverb or EDH or anything for Zoe?
She's
Okay.
natural.
I can respect that. So I was going back in time to get a segue I liked before. Speaking of hard-headed, Will, what is your character? Your character.
You know, Matt, Matt, I had the option to murder you tonight, and I didn't in our last game.
All I'm saying is your character literally headbutts people at times, I think, don't they?
Also, that sounds like something someone who is hard-headed would do. Well, just kill someone.
Well, on the other hand, am very flexible.
I'm playing Igora, and now before we continue the Will slander, let's roll the intro. And we're back.
For the record, I actually don't believe in dump stats. I believe in not putting points into things, but I don't believe in doing the thing where you go into the negatives. I don't like that. I can understand why people would do it. It's just not my bag, baby.
I think it depends on the character, and I think it also depends on how punishing a campaign will be. Like, I couldn't imagine doing it in an AP,
Yeah.
but like in a homebrew campaign.
But speaking of punishing, we join once again our students slash adventurers slash walking menagerie, as they have been given another task in their services to the city. It seems there was a recent bout of some arson around the Magambia, the magic school where we all attend. None of it seems to have been particularly vicious or damaging to the campuses. It's just like what you guys discovered to be specifically alchemical fires set in such a way to leave like a message, though apparently it wasn't done very well because you guys needed, crafting checks to actually notice that. Asking a few questions around the campus, you managed to kind of suss out that this was probably the work of a somewhat curmudgeon-y gentleman named Ubanu, who is a known kind of alchemist slash smith, kind of a very knowledgeable crafter, who is known for making like bombs and fires and elixirs and the like. And he seemed to have claimed that he had done some expensive work for students in the Gambia who then had refused to pay him or just kind of up and vanished. You guys were led to believe that these were possibly not actually students in the Gambia, and then he has been swindled, but he doesn't know that. So you guys decided to make a trip out to his forge on the outskirts of the city. And after arriving there and refusing the instructions of his security detail, you proceeded to assault them and then steal their possessions.
They shot first.
Instructions?
I was wondering how long you'd let me go.
They shot first.
They didn't have any ranged weapons.
They
Well, I don't
Han
know what you
Solo'd
mean.
us first.
They were the Han Solo to our Greedo.
You were told to leave and you refused. I'm just joking.
Really
not necessarily.
I'm just joking. You guys did engage with some somewhat overly aggressive Minotaur guards, but thankfully, they were a little more horn than hoof, it seems, and skedaddled once they got sufficient roughen up. So you guys are now left in the kind of remains of this little encampment they have perched outside what appears to be a rather ominous looking cave with a dark opening. I'm just going to assume everyone is where they are on the map.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, because we are going to be advancing into possibly an area with multiple kind of things that can happen depending on what direction you go, before you move your tokens on the map, please let me know what you're doing and what direction and what path you want to take. So we're just going to take this nice and slow.
Yeah.
Make sure that the encounter plays out properly.
Hey, thanks for the raid, chat. We are playing through the Strength of Thousands AP. It's a Pathfinder 2e adventure path. And Matt, just because I would like to take a look for it, I would like to make a perception check if I can.
Certainly.
To check for traps.
Do you think if I brought marshmallows to the chemical fires, would it taste any different?
Is that a serious question, or you just?
No, it is a serious question, God. Of course.
I would make a crafting check then.
Sure.
And sorry, did you make your roll?
I have not made my roll yet. I'm deciding which one I want to make. It doesn't matter.
All right, so there is something here that actually has a DC 0 to spot, but you actually had to make the effort.
Oh.
You notice up above the cave entrance, there is what appears to be a balanced boulder.
And I'm just making this crafting check for my marshmallows.
Yeah. The crafting check, you realize a chemical fire could possibly cause particulates of bad chemicals, especially because this is a fantasy world. They don't exactly have, really processed stuff. Any sort of like fire like that would not be good to cook over. You would probably get poisoned.
Damn it!
Or at least
okay.
get pretty sick.
Aerith throws her imaginary marshmallows over her shoulder and just forgets the entire idea.
And yes, I am the DM on this 1 day a week. So yeah, you guys with the perception of 16 have noticed a balanced boulder above the cave. It seems not precarious. It's not swinging in the wind or anything. It's up there. It is a little weird and conspicuous. That's why it has a DC of 0 to spot. But it's just up there. It's just sitting up there.
Hey, Avi.
Yeah?
Points at Boulder.
Huh. Is it a trap?
I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, a rock would fall and one of us would almost die.
Ooh. What if I use Mage Hand to push it and we all just stood out of the way?
You think looking at this almost instantly, you can tell this is more than, the weight of Mage Hand. Anyone else can, if they want, because Igora did one perception check. Anyone else can give me a perception check if they want for the cave entrance.
Yeah.
Hey, Avi! Oh my gosh! Aerith looks at Avi with her binoculars, and then just a small little bat face just kind of shows up in her eyes. Oh! I don't know that. Do you think there's strong winds up there? I hope not. I'm also gonna make a perception check. Check.
If you want, you can also give me a perspective check to really, think about your lives.
Where is that on the character sheet?
Respect.
Oh no, if Igor starts thinking about their life, it gets dangerous.
All right, Ophelia, for a second, you think you see like some loose sand or something near the cave entrance, but then you just notice like it's like a little lizard that pops out of some sand and just goes away.
Yeah, for our new folks.
Little salamander.
Is it a cute lizard?
Yeah, it's a little brown one, but it's got little pips of white along its back.
Oh, cute.
For our new folks, why don't we quickly go through our ancestries and such, just for the
Give a quick rapid fire. What class you're playing and what your ancestry is like, what you look like. Starting with Will.
Yeah, I'm playing Igora, the Gripply Summoner, and this is what they look like. Art is all done by McKenna. You can find them on TikTok at McKenna.
Oh, there we go. It's a froggy boy.
Froggy boy.
Shift Z.
All right, and then as because this is the one asked in chat. Oh, okay. McKenna's already handling it in chat.
Avi is a Nyctera, which is like a little fey sprite bat ancestry, and I think they're adorable. They can talk to animals, and she's a witch, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Technically, I think the ancestry is called Pixie, right?
No, the ancestry is sprite. Pixie is a subrace.
You're right. Thank you. It's been a while since I've actually looked at that one. How long have you been playing this campaign? And then, Aaron, who are you playing and what do they look like?
So I don't know how to push up my picture onto the screen, but I have Aerith. She is a hunting catfolk, and her parents love her very much. So they would do whatever in their... Well, she likes to be independent, but, of course her parents baby her too much. So she always has...
in our campaigns.
She always has something to prove. And right now, Bob is actually on vacation right now. He's enjoying a huge wheel of brie at the moment.
Delightful.
With some...
He's going to get fat.
He is going to get fat, but he's going to be happy with some grapes. I don't know how to push up Eric's photo onto the screen. Oh, thank you.
Well, we'll punch that up. Last but certainly not least, we have Zoe. Who are you playing tonight?
I play Ophelia. She's our Whisper Elf Bard, and she was sponsored by her mom at the Magambia. So we got a little bit of some lovely mom hugs in the very beginning of this campaign for this little group of friends here. Just look at that art. She's so cute.
Oh, she's so cute.
The character of my dreams.
Aww.
With
Also,
a little heart.
In response to something in the chat, the most powerful magic in the world is not friendship. Have you not been paying attention? It's obviously chronomancy. Anyway, so yeah, you guys other than the seemingly well-balanced boulder above the cave entrance, you don't seem to detect anything with your perception checks. Seems
All right.
clear,
Well-
as far as you can tell.
Choco, Gamma, let's a go, and just put
Wanna
me
throw
on.
a rock at it.
I can try knocking it down. I have telekinetic maneuver.
Oh, all right. And then
Oh,
you-
telekinetic maneuver. Can you throw that up in the chat?
I
Use
sure
that.
can.
I can't see.
Telekinetic maneuver. Attack technique. The rush of tele. You move a foe or something they carry.
Would this technically be a foe if it's out to harm us?
That's a boulder. It's a very nice boulder.
The boulder.
You know what? I'm going to say, because you are attempting to use it in more of just a physical manner, I'm going to ask, just give me a straight d20 plus your like your primary spell stat modifier.
You want a
Use-
spell attack roll?
Yeah. Well, no, basically. Just without the plus 10. Like I'm setting a weird DC for this because this is a little outside the purview of the adventure path, but d20 plus whatever your primary spell is. All right.
18.
So
That's pretty good for what the
it is decent. You manage to hit it, but it just sort of like rolls a tiny bit and then just kind of wobbles back into place. It's a pretty heavy boulder.
The boulder
That was
is
a waste of a
ready.
second level spell.
The boulder is over its conflict.
Can you smell what the
Well-
boulder is cooking?
There was a time when I would have just had my Eidolon trigger this and me be safe, but in PF2, I can't do that. So,
Are you going to move into the cave, Will?
well, Gamma is.
All right, so Gamma is going to move into the cave. Please, okay, stop right there.
Yep.
Gamma steps out into the sand where that lizard was punching, and it seems to sink down a little bit. And I'm going to need Gamma to make a reflex save. 30. Okay, so you're going
Ooh.
to take half whatever this is.
What did I roll? I got an 18. That's not bad.
You're going to take half of 41.
So 21.
Yes, it was 4d10 plus 18
Oh,
damage as the boulder pops out from a little thing underneath and falls down, and Gamma nearly gets squished, but he manages to get out of the way. You only beat that by... Oh, we've lost Zoe again.
Yes. Oh, I will fix that. 1 second, chat.
It was a DC 20 of 5 to escape that. And sadly, you needed a DC 25 to beat its stealth to see it. You got really close. But now the trap has been set.
Yep. And
So.
it's just 21 damage.
Yep, though, now that the trap has been triggered, I need to move something further in the cave.
Fair enough.
All right, back to object and tokens. All right, yeah. You guys move past this large boulder sitting out of the ground.
mean,
What do you
there's
guys
not
want to do
much.
now?
There's not much we could have done about that. We couldn't see the thing to trigger it.
No. But it's good that you managed to roll good for your reflex save.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot of damage.
All right. Well,
Well, I think...
nothing for it but to just push forward.
track
All
on
right.
through, I guess.
What can you guys... I'm not sure about the dynamic lighting. What can you guys see?
Not a lot.
All right, well, feel free to move into... I'm going to move Zoe in.
Yeah.
Feel free to move into the cave around like Igora and all that jazz.
Does
It pretty much cuts off here and here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will describe what I see because it may help move in a certain direction. To both the north and the south, you guys see a pair of iron gates.
Mm.
They are locked seemingly with simple locks. Now, you can either try a couple successful thievery checks to pick the locks, or if you want, you can just try and bust one of them open, which
me
will be an
go ahead and-
athletics check.
Let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and actually roll a thievery and see what
All right,
happens.
so this is going to require 3 or 3 successful thievery checks, and which one are you going to do, top or bottom?
Um, yeah, go bottom.
Okay. You guys go bottom. So that is going to be some thievery checks you wanted to do?
Yes.
All right, well,
Please.
go ahead and roll it. And it,
3 of
oddly enough,
them?
it doesn't say consecutive successes,
Okay.
so
1.
that's one success, that's a failure. That's a failure.
Okay. Keep going until I get another
you know what,
success.
funnily enough, yeah, I don't really know if there's any reason why you couldn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I already did 3, so I was gonna stop at 3, but does anybody else want to take a crack at it before I take a crack at it again?
Definitely, yeah. I've got a pretty decent plus to thievery. Well,
Will, if you could pass Zoe the meeting ID again.
Yeah, I am doing that.
Thank you.
I think I will hero point that, because that's just silly.
Okay.
There we go. How's that 20?
Okay, so you guys only need 1 more success.
I leave this to the 2 of you. I am not dexterous with my fingers.
Let's try this again.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So with you almost feel like you were very close to snapping off your little lock-picking tools in there, but finally, click, and it opens. I'm just going to move you guys just into this room so you can see it.
Okay.
Zoe's just going to stick to the back because she doesn't need to. And Will, you can move Igora and yourself, or Choco and yourself when you need to. Yeah. So a little bit of block text. A pile of smoldering trash in a corner emits a stench that fills the room. An open metal cage stands opposite the trash pile. It should be noted that the odor of the garbage in here is powerful. You guys are going to have to give me a fortitude save. The smell in here is so bad. And not like rotten food kind of thing, like sulfur bad.
That's a 31.
That is going to be a success. That is going to be a failure. Thankfully, there's a thing for a critical failure. I will roll for Zoe.
Yep, and then once you're done rolling for Zoe, I'll roll for my 3 people.
Give me a second here. Character sheet. Character. I got a great success for Ophelia, not a critical success. Gamma, that is a failure. Choco, that is a failure. Jesus. Igora, that is a success.
But because the Gamma failed, it's a failure, effectively.
And Avi, you already succeeded. So I guess Zoe, good news, you passed your fort save.
There we go. Haha.
Oh, you are muted. As we let Zoe figure out her technical things.
As we let Zoe work on the iPhone side.
So, Aerith.
Yes.
Because you critically failed, unfortunately, you are sickened 2.
Okay.
I'm just probably sickened 1 then.
And I'm going to roll a d4. You know what? Yeah, you are actually only sickened 2 for like 12 seconds technically because it's 2 rounds.
Okay, Aerith takes a really huge heave and then just tosses
basically
all the food that she's had in the afternoon. Well, that felt like 14 seconds. I feel like I'm fine now.
Yeah, and regardless of the results of the save, the creature is temporarily immune for 1 minute. So, funny thing is, because you guys have a certain choice you guys made, there might have been a combat encounter in this, so it might have been relevant how many rounds you guys were going to be sickened. But because there isn't, it's just like 12 seconds, and then you feel better, and you're immune for a minute. So as long as you don't spend an entire minute in here, you're not going to have to worry about it again.
Okay.
You see across the room, there is another iron gate.
You said there was a cage?
Yes, it's not on the map, but
It's
essentially
like
right.
here.
Yeah, well, so we hit on the same thing.
Can I
Oh, we
can I
lost
take a
Zoe again.
look?
Um, the cage appears. There isn't like food or bedding in it. It's just like a an iron cage. But give me a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Ooh,
28.
28. All right.
When wow,
You
okay.
get the weirdest kind of impression that there's like almost the silhouette in ash of something because you've seen your cat lie on like the top of like a glass table, and when you look up through a glass table at a cat that's sitting on top and it looks like its little paws where it rests. You get the weird impression that there's like a similar shape to that, but like burned into this cage, and it's a metal cage.
Hmm.
Huh. But there's nothing inside.
There is currently nothing in the cage. Um, you know what? With a 28, because that's a pretty good perception roll, you do see the faintest hints of little sooty footprints, little
Little
pads that
footprints.
lead, oddly enough, that lead and then sort of vanish.
Can I make some kind of maybe nature check? Maybe
This would not be a
uh
nature check. If you'd
Art.
like, you can actually hold
to
on a sec.
identify it?
I should check something. What kind of character is this? Okay, this would be a religion check.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess you could say
Well,
that's
I'll
one hell
roll
of a
it.
cat.
18 is about as good as I could have hoped for.
You worry this might be some sort of hell cat or something. Beyond
Oh.
that, you have no idea. You have no knowledge of the lower planes necessarily, or even if this could be. It could be. Um, you vaguely think it might be just something elemental, but you're like, no, this seems weird.
Mm.
Huh.
I think we're all
Interesting.
really bad at religion checks.
And you guys are closing in on a minute now, so your immunity to the stench is coming to a close.
Oh, all right. We should get going. I'm
I don't
Yeah,
gonna.
either.
should we unlock this? Should what? Aerith is definitely holding her nose.
Yeah.
Should we unlock this gate or should we go back and unlock the other gate?
Let's just keep going this way.
All
All
right.
right, I'm assuming it's the same thing. It doesn't actually specify,
Well, if
but
it,
I'm going to assume it needs another. All right, that's a success.
24.
That's a success. You just need one more success.
One
I
more.
believe in
I
you,
believe
Avi.
in you.
That is a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give it a try.
The method acting. That is a
One.
failure.
Ah, come
That
on.
is a failure.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more. There we go.
All right,
Oh.
that was the last chance. All right, so you guys like burst through that gate into the room beyond as the smell was starting to near overpowering you. Um, so okay, so I'm going to move Avi into the room. I'm assuming Igara and crew will be. Actually, you know what? You and Aerith should be near the front because you guys were the ones doing the lock. Um, Zoe is in the back, and Igara and his crew are ready to leap into action there.
Are
So,
we are we
all right.
clear?
Size and tank.
All right, so hold on a sec. I accidentally closed my little window here. All right. You guys have entered Ubanu's study.
Oh.
This room is a mixture of a laboratory, arcane study, and forge. A basin rising out of the floor is filled with burning red coal and ringed with half-finished weapons. The other part of the room contains shelves and a stone workbench with the singed paper strewn across the surface. The room bears a pungent smell of sulfur. You guys see a gentleman who you are pretty sure is Ubanu turn from his sort of workbench, and over in the corner, because technically this would start visible, you guys see this thingamajigger, which is like a flaming skeletal cat
Oh God.
That I saw earlier.
And you guys hear a kind of a amused kind of growl that seems to come from its chest, which also sort of sounds like the crackling of a fire.
No.
Hey, cousin, how's it going? And Aerith is just turned total white, just seeing that thing just
And
in the corner.
Ubanu seems to clutch something in his hand. You've finally come for some vengeance, ah? Well,
We-
I'll have you know it's my time for some well-deserved payback.
We're
Fire
not- we're not-
Patu Banu will have what he is owed, even if the price is paid in blood.
We're not here for vengeance. That's very much
And
not
we're
what
gonna roll initiative. Know that? Now, I'm just gonna ask you guys to recall lessons you have learned from previous encounters, maybe. But this will be a bit of a fun thing. All right, I need Ubanu, who has actually a very friendly-looking piece of art.
He does.
Lovely, which means that we might be able to convince him to not fight us.
And then we have to roll for his pet, Raja,
Raja.
or Rajata.
Sorry.
Raja.
Oh, I'm so glad she rolled that.
Why?
She has a very specific strategy for fights.
Oh God, you're so excited.
Well, time to
I
kill the
am. I've
boss.
been. There is a 99.9% chance you guys will not kill this pet for reasons.
We don't
Very-
want to.
Some very cat reasons. All right, so that is we need. I'm gonna roll for Zoe.
Also, chat, let us
actually-
know if you hear music in the background and if it's overpowering our voices at all, because I'm still messing with levels of stuff.
Will, would you mind puppeting Ophelia?
I will play the one class in PF2 by puppeting Ophelia that I've never played.
That
Well,
surprises me.
Zoe can give you instructions.
Yes.
I just want you to move around. I've just got these two characters I have to keep track
I
of.
will take
And I just need an initiative check for her. There we go. All right, so I'm going to then put it in descending order. Okay, so first thing,
Oh.
Rajta is going to is going to use an ability called Fade into the Light. And she steps into the brightly lit center of the room and vanishes.
Oh no.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I need to be able to know where they are. And then it's going to finish it's going to complete its move. Because that was oddly enough. And then from behind you guys, you hear, actually right in the middle of you guys, a deep, throaty growl emerges. And I'm going to need everyone, because I can get you all within a 15-foot emanation, to save against its menacing growl.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Ophelia.
This is a will save. All right,
28
that
for
is a
Ophelia.
success for Ophelia. Good job, Ophelia. You're very willful.
Oh great. Getting Will's rolls. Thank goodness.
Aerith,
Gala.
that is a success.
I fail by one, I think.
Yes, it is a DC 25.
Yeah.
Oh, but doesn't get to make a growl for 4 rounds. That's irritating.
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
boo-hoo.
so the only failure, actually, it seems, was Avi Avi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was 2 actions. Yeah, that with.
How's the initiative order, by the way, since I can't see it?
The initiative, you are going to be after Avi and Ubanu, but before Aerith and Igara. And so next up is going to be Avi Avi. I'm going to just finish a little DM layer trickery.
I think the first thing I'm gonna do is cast a little mirror image.
Mirror image.
Because I don't want this thing to hit me, because I think it's right behind me.
Oh, by the way, because you failed, you are frightened 1.
I think I'm frightened too, am I not?
Oh yeah, failure, the creature's frightened 2.
2. Success.
Oh,
people are
success,
frightened
yeah.
1.
So everyone, no one
all
got a
y'all
crit
except
success.
For Aerith.
Yeah.
Aerith rolled a nat 20.
Okay, Aerith. So everyone else is frightened 1, which will go away at the end of your first turn.
Yeah.
But there is a reason why it did that.
Yeah, I bet you.
So I have mirror image up, and then I think
2 actions.
I'm gonna do I'll do Needle of Vengeance on Ubanu against me, just in case he tries to attack me.
Okay.
But we can worry about that on his turn, which is right now.
Okay, yes. All right. Vanu has some interesting stuff.
And what interesting
He is
stuff
seeing,
does Ubanu have?
seeing as Ubanu has you guys right there, he is going to just chuck 3 Alchemist's fires at you.
Oof.
Oh.
Make 3 will saves.
No, he's just going to throw it at. He's going to throw it at Aerith. He's closer.
What?
He only needs to get you a splash damage.
Isn't that
Okay.
technically a hostile action against me, though? If you're throwing something at someone with AoE,
You know what? I would say that's fine.
I would say
No,
that.
no. I'm saying you're right. So that's a will save.
Yeah, 3 of them.
16, 25, 21.
Fail, save, fail. So he takes 6, 12, 15 damage. Total
15 damage, you say? Okay. As I wait for roll
People
20.
say alchemists are underpowered.
But now he gets to roll the damage against us.
Well, he has to roll to hit you first.
That's true.
Well, Aerith actually. He was throwing at Aerith, but catching you with the splash damage, which he knew it was happened because he's an alchemist, so that is a hostile action against you.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get to skirt that. So alchemist fire the first.
Skirt.
33 on Aerith.
Oh. Fuck, plus
Wow.
19 hit. Ouch.
That hurts.
Aerith, what's your AC?
I'm like looking at everything just to make sure. 21.
All right, so that's going to be a crit. So you
Yeah.
are going to take 24 fire damage and then another 8, I guess, from the additional damage.
So the splash damage is technically persistent fire damage, so it wouldn't roll until Aerith's turn. We do Cooper's incredibly wrong.
Well, just like there's additional damage plus 4 persistent.
Yeah, it's persistent fire plus the splash damage from the fire.
Okay.
the
So
splash
you're going to take.
damage would get double, but the persistent wouldn't.
Okay. So fire the splash, and did the person get hit with the bomb initially take the splash as well, or just the people around?
I believe so.
Okay, so
I've
you are going to take then 4 plus 12. You're going to take 36 damage, Arrow.
Jeez.
But I
Wow.
also take double splash damage.
yes.
Yes, I guess so. That's how that works. So you're going to take
Yeah.
12. And we're going to have to keep track of additional. I'm going to put a little icon on you for. I got so much stuff on the screen.
Yeah.
Same.
For once, I can only have one on the screen, and it's freaking out.
Valid.
And that is going to be 12 splash damage to you, McKenna. And I think you are also on fire, or does that
No.
not set on fire? Okay. All right. Now for just his second attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, we're gonna
Uh,
die.
Nope. Crit fail.
Ooh.
And oh wait, no, I
Splash.
rolled his spear. Sorry.
That's still
That's-
a nat 1.
You know what? I will keep the roll, so it's a nat one. The second bomb does not hit.
You are a
Well,
love.
it's the dice roll technically wouldn't have been any different regardless of what I rolled.
Still.
And 23 on the third one. That's not a crit, I'm assuming. That's just a hit. So that's just going to be another 14 fire damage to you plus 6 splash. So another 20 damage to you, Aerith. And another 6 to you, McKenna. And McKenna is also on fire, I think.
No.
If it's just splash,
Not the
I don't
splash.
think so.
Okay, not the
Being
splash.
targeted
All right, so
only.
just Aerith then. And that is his entire turn. He does seem a little kind of panicky in these throw. He's just literally doing like the Hammer Bros throw from Super Mario with bombs. All right. Though he has now used almost half of his alchemist fires in one round.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That brings us though to in the initiative order. Where did my initiative tracker go?
Wasn't it me?
Yeah, it's Ophelia next.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know. Are we making a diplomacy to stop this fight, or are we just gonna fight through, you guys?
You guys have to make a decision about that.
If anyone could do it, you could.
You wronged this man.
We did not. We're here to rectify the situation.
But we, as representatives of the school wronged this man. It was an accident, but he still lost a lot of.
Well, I mean,
good.
if someone gets scammed, is it really the fault of the people that were being impersonated?
I would personally say that you guys actually, everyone in this room, except possibly the Hellcat, are all victims.
He doesn't.
You guys are in a way the victims of identity theft.
That's true, but he also doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't know that. So there's some understanding.
If anyone could do it, I think you could do it.
You could certainly take an action to make a diplomacy check on your turn if you want.
Yeah.
Ophelia, please, I'm burning to the stake here.
Diploma.
Imagine all the fur smelling.
Ooh.
You smell all the singeing. It's not great for the skin.
Or well, make me a performance check, please.
Oh yes, I can do that.
Oh yeah, because you can use performance.
That is my feat.
She does it with the power of
29.
song.
Okay. So, a 29. I'm not going to say what it means, but you only needed a 28. So,
Interesting.
he's looking like he's rummaging through his belt for more bombs, and then he kind of stops. And what are you saying to him, Ophelia?
I'm telling him that we're here to fix the situation because there was a grave misunderstanding and we know he's been wronged.
All right. So, you know what? Just make sure I'm reading this right here.
I don't know.
You know what? And technically, none of you have attacked him yet.
Yes.
As it says, Firepot Ubano attacks right away, trying to ensure he gets the upper hand. If the heroes refrain from attacking him, and one of them insists that they want to talk by succeeding at a DC 28 diplomacy check, Ubano stops long enough to cautiously hear them out.
Yes.
Also, if you'd offered to pay him, the DC would have been reduced.
Oh.
But,
We
so...
don't have
so
Have that kind of money.
the combat essentially ends.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, then I can put it back to the other bit of music.
Now, talking with Ubano. Ubano makes his demands clear. He wants the 300 gold pieces that students of the Magambia promised to pay him for his stone rot solvent. If he doesn't get his money, he plans to keep terrorizing the school until he pays up, and he'll keep chucking bombs at you. And he points over, and right next to you, Avi, the Hellcat
Oh God.
becomes visible again.
You were near him.
It is crouched like it was about ready to pounce on you because you had especially failed the thing, and it gets bonus damage against frightened targets. It was going to spend the entire round trying to eat you. But now it's just like, it's doing that thing where it wiggles its butt, but it's not actually pouncing. Like, ooh, I was going to get you. I was going to get you.
Is there like a hardened rock spot on its little nose that I can like scratch?
Its head is literally just a cat's skeleton. It's like
Yeah. I give it a little head pat.
I'm not sure if that would burn you, but you have experience with cats, so it kind of looks more confused than anything and kind of glances over to Banu, who kind of like, um. So, oh dang it! I closed the wrong window again. Give me 1 second.
I think Avi turns to Ubanu and says, "I like your cat friend. I have a cat friend too." And she holds up Agate.
Yeah. He has some pre-programmed responses. If you guys have any questions for him.
We were wondering maybe what the students looked like. We're a little concerned that it might be someone impersonating the students, but on the off chance that that's not the case, we want to bring the right students to justice.
Well, I certainly remember the name of those dissonant cheats, Oyo and Matembe, 2 students of your so-called advanced studies classes. Now, you guys know.
We killed them.
Oh my God, what are they teaching at that school?
It's the people I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, it's the snake people.
They were the 2
Yeah.
people lurking in store. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were actually kind of stowaways in the school. Like, they had broken in and were pretending to be students. And,
Also, you remember they were like serpent folk.
yeah, they were like serpent folk. And they attacked us first, so we were kind of cornered.
He looks very shocked at this and kind of like, what? Like suspicious of this.
Secret snake people.
Yeah.
They were imposters.
Oh God, those message boards I read were right.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
The one with the little bird. Yeah, so it should be noted, you guys, he is insisting that someone owes him the 300 gold pieces. Like, it is not cheap to make that stone rot solvent. That stuff is rare, and not a whole lot of people ask for it.
Hypothetically, just like a serious question for you, what could stone rot solvent be used for? Because like these people were impersonating students to do harm to the school directly, so if they left like a bad alchemical trap somewhere, it might be good for us to know that.
That is an interesting question in chat there. What would old mage Jatambe do? But I'm going to interpret that question, Will, as asking what did the students want? Because I have only a preset number of question answers here. A stone rot solvent is a substance that can neutralize and break down powerful acids. They said they were studying some kind of magical acid. They couldn't even describe it that well. They're obviously amateurs. It was plain that they were just ordering it on someone else's behalf. And I guessed I thought it was for a teacher, but they weren't really students, now that I'm not really sure.
It looks like they were using it for nefarious means.
It's not the kind of thing you could make a bomb out of, is it?
Actually, Avi, roll me a quick intelligence check.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile,
Anything in
Aerith is
particular or
in the
just flat
back.
intelligence?
Just flat intelligence.
Okay.
9. Actually, you know what?
wish-
Everyone give me an intelligence check,
Yeah.
because this is something actually all of you have seen.
Wow, pretty good for -1.
Actually, Igora, you recall the jar, the clay jar you guys found in that same area.
Oh, we never sold that.
We took the solvent.
Oh,
Well-
shit.
Can I make a bomb out of it?
Wait, do you want to produce the jar?
Not necessarily, because I think I made a bomb out of it.
No,
it is
we made
it
an
is totally-
explosive- We made
yeah,
an
it is totally.
explosives out of the alchemical supplies, not that clay jar. That was a whole separate thing.
Well, if you guys can produce the jar, he will identify, yes, that was what used to have the solvent in it when he sold it. He now that he is there and points it out, you guys failed to check when you were initially looking at it. His like little work sigil is on the jar.
Oh, right. I think there was a society check in by that
Yeah,
Well,
or not.
there's your jar back, I guess.
it's a jar. The solvent is worth 10 times the jar.
I
This
know,
is
but silver linings.
hard to procure the ingredients, or
Well, it's a complicated substance. It took me a long time to make. Okay, I I don't just charge for materials. I charge for my expertise. Some people say, if it takes you 5 minutes to make this thing, why should I pay you so much money? I'm like, well, because I studied for years to learn how to make it in 5 minutes. Pay your artists, damn it.
Friends, quick question. Do any of us have sending?
No, I have message.
I don't think that could that get a message to our teacher.
Message
Sending?
I think doesn't have that long.
No. Okay.
No.
I mean, like, we could
send
realistically charge the school back the 300 gold ourselves.
well, let's.
McKenna, you have Magambia lore, right? Or Nantambu lore?
I have Nantambu lore, yes.
Okay, well, anyone who wants, give me a quick society check.
Like, 300 gold is pocket change for an educational institution.
Okay, 18? Oh, nice, 22.
Aerith,
I'm high in society.
you recall, just reading through your student handbook that you've read through several times, that the school is very unlikely just to completely out of pocket pay for something that was purchased through fraud. Like, as kind of callous as it seems, the school literally has no stake in it, and they are an aggrieved party in this because people have this. He's been setting fires, so they are not going to be particularly inclined just to give him the money. There might have to be something else involved. You guys may have to pay it yourselves if you want to resolve this, or you may have to come up with some other solution. But the school is not going to just say, "Okay, yeah, here's 300 gold."
Well, it looks like I have to kill him. Not saying this out loud.
No.
Yeah.
So, putting in this way short, Aerith kind of like staggers and fur is still singeing off, and she's saying, "Ow, ow."
Actually, yeah.
Ow,
How much health
every
do you
single
have
time.
left, Aerith?
Not that much.
How much? Because you were technically been burning this entire time.
Oh my God. So let me see. I think I have like maybe 10. Like,
Okay, someone would have patted you out by now. If you had like 2 health left, I would have said you might have had to check right away. But
like definitely patted myself out and been putting myself like
that was a lot of
wrapped up in
damage in one
bandages.
turn.
Yeah. My God.
This brings up an interesting point here, though. You've been dealing a fair amount of damage to the school in what you would say as oh God, what's the word when you do something for revenge?
Hey, I gave the school a chance. I went and talked to them several times, and they were quite rude, and they pretended like they didn't even know, which I guess they probably didn't.
I mean,
but they could have tried to help me more.
They were literally.
And then you went ahead and attacked the students by just not asking anything.
And I would like to point out that I wasn't just setting random fires. I was spelling out a message to pay your debts.
Yeah, but then
you were the first people who came, and this has been days now.
But then those fires broke Magambia property. Like, by now, at the very least,
they did not break any
school. You set a building on fire.
He didn't set a building on fire. Well, he set little fires that burned out very quickly and left scorch marks.
Nobody was able to read those, by the way.
Dude, look at me. You don't even
know obviously
me,
people need to go to more language classes because maybe my penmanship's not great and it's hard to write.
It's hard to write with fire.
Do you know how much this coat is? You just singed it. You don't even know me.
300 gold for this coat.
It's more than 300 gold.
I'm sorry about your coat and your coat of fur.
Do you understand the fact that the people who purchased items for you were impersonating people from the school?
I understand that now, but I'm just saying when I came to ask the school the first time, they could have tried to explain that, but they were quite rude to me.
Okay, but the trouble is that most of the school doesn't know about this. Like, this isn't a hot topic around the school. This was a thing that we just solved. Like, we dealt with it.
All I'm going to say is I am still out 300 gold pieces, and if these guys were successfully impersonating Magambia students, I kind of think that a little bit of responsibility at least is on the school's behalf.
And they have paid that price with their life.
The school has? Who died at the school?
No,
the people who were impersonating us.
We literally killed them.
I literally
So
snapped one of their necks.
Igor,
what you're
that
saying
doesn't tell
is-
him it doesn't
Yeah,
help
that doesn't
him at
put gold in
all.
my hands. I'm out supplies and labor.
Okay, Karen.
Aerith just kind of walks back,
You-
just and throws her hands up in complete frustration, just
You
keeps
guys-
looking at her fur.
Do you guys want to perhaps try and figure out some alternatives? Because he does seem rather stubborn about being paid. He's rather insist on that.
Would you like to keep your life, sir? No.
I
Like-
mean, I kind of understand. I'd be
The
upset
Hellcat
too.
starts swishing its tail a little bit.
I just look at the Hellcat and then I just point to the water and I just point back at the Hellcat and it's like, stop.
Do you think maybe this is a topic for the chime bearers? I mean, if you were robbed, that is not something between us and the school. That's something between you and law enforcement.
For a second there, I was like, "Oh, are you saying maybe we should take this up with the police?"
I mean, we
I mean,
could.
kind of, yeah.
I mean, we could. We have like legal safety on that matter. This
You
person
also
sent
have-
gold to a Taldanan prince.
You also have proof of attacking an innocent student, i.e., here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think here.
Buddy, okay, here are your options, alright? We can work out some sort of deal where you get something out of this thing. Right now, your relationship with Magambia, a very large institution of students and teachers who need things like magical reagents and weapons, is in a bad place. You don't have a good relationship, right? And like those people, they weren't students. The rest of the school has no reason to not use your services. So what I'm thinking is this. You have an opportunity here. Why don't we come up with something we can work out together? Somewhere where you don't necessarily get blacklisted by every Magambia student and every Magambia graduate in the Magwagi Expanse. And maybe where you get some more business thrown your way instead. How does that sound to you?
Aerith just goes over to Avi and just goes, "This is the first time I heard Igor not mention killing somebody."
I know,
All right, now,
I'm very
well,
proud of him.
Are you honestly trying to make a persuasive argument here? Do you want to actually a diplomacy check?
I mean, diplomacy or intimidation, they're both good for me.
Either or. He could intimidation won't necessarily interpret as you trying to frighten him or something. He might just see your resolve.
22. Let me
You know
look
what?
at what I rolled. Yeah, it's fine. It's a 7. I'll
He-
0 point. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Well, he kind of looks thoughtful for a moment, and he says, "So you're suggesting there could be, you might be alternative to something else, something of possibly equal value but not gold."
Well, what I'm saying is this: right now, my friend, you are essentially burning a bridge to a huge amount of people who require magical items, weapons, and magical components. That's a huge amount of business that you're losing out on. If you wanna cut yourself out of that market, that's your choice to make. But I'm saying, listen, you were scammed, we were impersonated. The people who are doing it have been dealt with. And yeah, we both are out things. I was out a whole lot of blood that day.
You really were.
I was bleeding from my eyeballs. Look, if your cat hits this frog, my eyeballs bleed.
He kind of ignores that last part.
You think these red marks are paint? No, it's dried blood.
He looks kind of thoughtful, and he wanders across the room, and in a very kind of tender way, kind of pets Rajda, and he looks
Aw.
kind of thoughtful, and he kind of looks at his hand, and then kind of looks at you guys. The thing is, I've got magic in my blood. I always have. I've always wondered what it would be like if I could learn to use it, get proper formal education. Do you think we could maybe work something out that way?
The school could sponsor you.
Maybe.
Eris just kind of picks off a fur patch, most definitely.
I'm just sitting there on Choco right now with my hands on my eyes, just
Well, what exactly? What did you want to occur here? Will?
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just
Like him to
my
just give
God,
up
why
the-
didn't he just say that then? Like it's
You didn't ask the right question.
You had to give him the idea.
Well, I mean, we'd have to ask the teachers, but I mean, that sounds good to me.
I mean,
You guys think that, yeah, you'd probably have to ask like John and Timo, but possibility. I mean, the school takes all sorts. It let in whatever Kiara was.
hey,
let me in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Avi pipes up. Igor was a cultist before he came to the school, and he got lots of people, so they'd probably take you. Like, arson is arguably not as bad as, like, ritualistic murder.
I mean, technically, I killed an alum, but that's beside the point.
wait.
Killed an alum?
Yeah. That's where I got that mask from. It was their mask. It's the one I'm using. We had a whole discussion about this before the ceremony. You all played it off like it'd be no big deal.
Know, but
I feel like you didn't understand what I was saying at the time.
No, I didn't!
I feel like you
Find
did.
everything.
I'm
Aerith
glad you
pulls out
guys
a
aren't
little
actually
bit of
having this
tea.
conversation.
During all this tea spilling, Aerith just pulls out a little tea and then just starts sipping it on the side, just like enjoying all this popcorn.
Hey, you're a decently talented blacksmith, though, right?
Yes.
Can I just, like, up front pay you for a thing?
I mean, you know what? Let's resolve this thing. I don't like taking on one contract before the previous one is finished.
All right.
So do you guys want to go back to the school with him and talk to a teacher or see what can be accomplished? It's a cat. It's a big floofy cat.
Little baby.
That sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys head out. Rajda just kind of plops down on the bed. You notice somehow it's not setting the bed on fire, and just kind of like does that kind of bored cat thing. Outside, the Minotaurs have actually returned, but they're all kind of standing around sheepishly, like kicking the dirt. And Ubanu like goes off for a moment and kind of like gives them a tongue lashing for just running off and not one of them running in to like try and tell them what was going on. You hear something about their pay being docked or something and getting less salt licks.
Oh,
Salt licks.
But yeah, eventually you guys make your way through town. You speak to John Atimo, and he does offer actually that he'd be willing to pay half the agreed upon amount from his own funds.
Aw.
But
I can cover that.
he has a condition.
Oh.
Ubanu must come to out into the campus publicly and apologize publicly for his attack on the school and promise to never do it again or anything like that. And you see Ubanu gains a bit back of his previous bluster. You get the impression that he is kind of prideful. He has worked long and hard to hone his skills. He takes a lot of pride in it and in his dealings. And while he knows, on an intellectual level, that this has all just been a big, literal misunderstanding because of people impersonating the school, pride is not logical. He is going to need some convincing to go through with this plan.
okay.
So there's going to be a diplomacy check required.
Oh, never mind. I don't do a goddamn thing.
Or, depending on how you frame it, a deception check.
So what else?
Yeah.
Will, would you mind rolling a performance check for Zoe?
Gotcha. Ooh, do
That
you hero
is-
point that's a 20 only, Ophelia. You rolled
What happened?
You rolled a 6. Do you want to hero point it?
I'll hero point it.
Okay.
Good work.
Got a 7. You got one better.
Hilarious.
Um,
What other perception checks we got?
I mean,
Give me a quick
technically
second
I
here.
could try to aid, so I'll try to aid to give you a +1.
the DC is 28.
Oh.
So that
Jeez, even being like maxed out in my diplomacy, I would need to get a 13 on the die to do it.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Did you make it?
Yeah.
Both of them for myself are shite. So I don't
Yeah, I
think
have
I
a
would
plus 0.
definitely,
There's no
yeah.
point.
Yeah, like
I'll just say
So-
that,
even if Ophelia was
um,
aiding me, I'd only get a +1, which would only bring it up to a 27, so it doesn't work out either way.
Um, John Atimo makes a bit of a fuss. Urbano makes a bit of a fuss. John Atimo kind of pawns him off on one of the grad students he has working for him, who gets him like some food or something. And he goes through some papers with you guys in his office. And while it seems that there is still now the matter of payment in a way, uh, John Atimo is initially hopeful that Ubano could take classes, but he's gone through a quick search of the school records, and he has had some troublesome applications to the school before. And as you guys can see, he has a bit of an explosive temper.
hmm.
For the school to admit him, someone must accept close responsibility for his coursework and behavior to help ensure that Ubano keeps his temper under control.
Oh gosh.
I'll do
I
it.
vote eager. I vote Igora.
I'll take care of him if he gets out of line. That's fine.
Igora,
What?
Igor-
What? No. What? I'll just like comment. What the hell did you guys think I was going to do?
I'm gonna let you guys in onto the inner workings of this. To do this, it will increase the distractions of aiding him to excel will increase the DC of your skill checks to study by 1,
That's fine.
and
I'll
your
take-
skill checks to cram by 2 for the next 2 academic semesters.
That's fine. I'll take the debuff. That's okay.
Um,
I'll just say at this point, Aerith is like wrapped up like how Squidward is after he gets stung by a jellyfish. That's the mental picture I want all of you to have right now. And just like the head wrap and everything.
and it's a little tricky to parse this from the quest description, but because the diplomacy check wasn't succeeded, it means Ubanu is not going to agree to publicly apologize, and so Janatimo is not willing to assist paying for the fee.
Well, I guess he's just
Now
not
you guys
getting
did
paid.
you guys did get him admitted to the school, so I'm going to say that he was asking for what? Was it 200 gold pieces?
300.
300.
300. Genetiba was offering to do half. That's not going to happen. So getting him into the school, I would say, would cut that by a third. So he's still owed 200 gold pieces.
All right. Well, we can always just kill him in the middle of the Magambia.
That would have you expelled instantly.
Igora.
And then I would end the campaign and put loser on all of you. No.
I'm just saying, like, we should not have to pay this. This is not our responsibility to pay him.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
So if he doesn't like it, we'll just beat him up a little bit, and then maybe he'll not want us to pay him.
Don't think that's
Easy.
the answer either.
Just break his legs.
I want to say I think Aerith has about 200 gold pieces at the moment, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but
And
Aaron,
so-
Aaron, we cannot afford to lose economy in an AP.
Everyone who is willing to possibly explore alternate ideas, feel free to propose some sort of skill check, even if it's just a knowledge gathering check, perhaps. This is now stepping slightly outside of the bounds of the
What
AP.
about-
It doesn't actually give me an option for what happens if you guys fail the diplomacy check. So I'm going to have to make up something right here now.
What about if I made or one of us made a diplomacy or like performance check to tell the students, like, I guess kind of the story of what happened, so that he would be more willing to say, like, hey, like, I did that because this happened to me. I don't know. Is that
So you want to frame it as sort of a meeting of people to discuss things, rather than him coming up and saying, I did this, I was wrong. So not an apology, but a meeting of the minds, you're saying.
Yes.
Can we do a society with that?
You can give me a society to sort of gather knowledge, and I can maybe give you a possible solution.
We'll see.
I will
All
roll
right.
society to gather a possible
Here we
solution.
go. Give Mama a pair of brand new cat boots.
How would we do this?
Oh, jeez.
You
Wait,
rolled
religion?
Yeah.
Wow, I totally saw society and I clicked society and then still wrote religion. How
Nobody.
funny.
How's a
That's
24 in
still
society?
So 24 in society. So combined with the fact that thanks to you guys getting him into the school and the fact that you are willing to talk and that you are at Igora, despite the obvious hostility, is willing to kind of take him under his webbed wing.
Mess around, I will break your
He would
legs,
maybe
buddy.
be amenable to, while he's going to be working at the school, if you guys maybe, because he might get, adventure assignments too, if you guys would lend him a hand with that, if you guys would be willing to, if any opportunities come up in your travels, to promote his business.
Just like out of character, why are we responsible for this?
Because the AP says you are.
Yeah, I know.
Assignments and
Yeah.
community.
I would ask Ophelia just to finally put a nice smooth over on this. Well, Ophelia and then Will, I guess, because you have the controls. Please give me the performance diplomacy check again.
Great, please.
Ooh, 16. You know what? A tenuous peace has been struck, but I'm gonna have to maybe bring some stuff up later that may cause some things, because you guys have sort of made friends with him, and he is kind of grateful to you, but his bad attitude still kind of persists, and this might be something you have to deal with down the road, because the AP does not give me an option to resolve this when you fail the diplomacy check.
Worst comes to worst, I feed him to Gamma.
I guess I just kind
He
of
might
assumed
explode considering all the stuff he carries on him.
I just kind of assumed that admittance into the school might be like a decent enough reward in and of itself.
Yeah, because like effectively the
Right.
school's giving him 40 gold a month, so they'll pay him back in like 4 months with interest.
Yeah, does he not care about that?
Well, no, because that's for his school supplies and living stuff. So
Yeah, but he already has a place of residence here, so he's saving money.
yeah, but his business is going to suffer because he's going to go into school. He's going to have to, reduce his work hours.
How could you?
How will he pay his
Just
minotaurs?
just don't sleep. Just don't sleep at night. Do what every person.
Everyone, including the Professor Jonatimo, kind of turns and looks at you.
Just don't sleep at night. That's all you have to do.
Igor, are you not sleeping?
No.
Igora,
Igora. He puts an arm around you and like, oh, I think we need to go talk to the counselor.
There's too much
And he just
stuff
sort
to
of
do.
leads Igor away.
I do how many laps of the school I need to do every day just to keep my physical performance up.
We're a wizard school.
Do
Or
you know
a magic school.
And a wizard school.
Actually,
But because you guys did arrange for him to be admitted to the Magambia, with some problems down the road, you guys are going to get something kind of nice. You are going to get he's kind of curmudgeon-y about it because this guy apparently has problems with non-explosive emotions. He's going to give you guys a fulminating spear. It's the best weapon he's currently crafted.
Oh,
That's
Cool.
This is a
kinda dope.
+1 striking returning spear that is warm to the touch. The head of the
Nice.
spear is crafted from gold with ivory inlay and has a ruby set into the shaft.
How much does
You
it
can
sell
make-
for?
It sells for 360 gold pieces.
amazing.
Well, there we go.
You can make this, actually, guys, you could probably find the gold for this if you went through all the loot of stuff you've been carrying around and haven't sold any of the stuff
Oh,
you're not using.
Matt, I
Oh,
have
that's
the gold.
fair.
I have the gold to pay for this. I'm just
It's
not
the
doing it
principle
on
of the
principle.
thing.
It's the principle of it, Matt.
Just let me finish through the item. You can make the spear glow like a torch or suppress its light by using an action, which has the concentrate trait. For 2 actions, you can activate it once per day. You touch the ruby and hurl the spear at a square within 40 feet. When the spear lands, it detonates, dealing 66 fire damage with a DC 23 reflex save to all creatures in a 10-foot emanation, and then flies back to your hand.
How many times a day does it do that?
It can do it once a day. But it's also a +1 spear.
That's
Yeah.
a good ass weapon. Unfortunately, I can't use it.
Excuse me while I just check what weapons a summoner gets trained in.
It has weapon proficiency +1, a striking rune, and a returning rune.
How come you can't use it, McKenna?
I
It's
don't think I have weapon proficiency for something like a
actually
Oh, I see.
it's a simple melee weapon. Because they know everyone in this AP is a caster who probably doesn't have martial weapon proficiency.
The
I
baby.
do have simple weapon proficiency, but I'm assuming it's a strength mod to throw it.
Well,
It's a range attack to throw it, so it'd be dex, wouldn't it?
You can just imagine little Avi
and
just like
to be
trying
fair,
carry it.
in the description of the thing, you don't have to hit someone, like you don't have to beat their AC. It's literally an AoE bomb.
Yeah, but to throw it.
When the spear lands, it detonates.
It's a DC 5 to hit a square.
It's like a little fireball, essentially.
And then it would also have splash damage, is what
No, it's just everything in a 10-foot emanation will take the 66 fire damage.
Oh!
One of you three
It's like a
take it.
fireball stick
One of
Oh,
you,
I see. Okay.
that doesn't take a spell slot, and you can use it once a day.
one of you three take it and just don't throw it. Throw it before I go in.
I also like all Squishy's suggestions in the chat on how you guys could raise money for him. A bake sale, an Etsy store, a Bud Spud and steak night.
But we don't. He's already put us through so much trouble. He doesn't deserve our kind words.
We
I
do
am
not,
pretty proficient in cooking.
When you've lost Ophelia, you've lost the game.
Is he a disposable friend, Ophelia?
Oh, no. Disposable friends are above him.
He has an explosive temper, which is part of the thing that makes this all so good.
I will say I do have a proficiency in cooking, so if there is a bake sale or anything like that, please let me know.
I think at one point.
This may come up later, but you could also place him directly under your tutelage. You could literally be tutors to him, and that may actually have significance in Pathfinder Adventure Path number 171, Hurricane's Howl.
I've already agreed to dealing with him, so I think that's going to be the case.
Well, there's the two tiers to this roll.
Okay.
There's the one tier where it increases the DCs here thing, and on the second one, placing him under your tutelage means he literally may come back into the story in a later book.
I'll take him under the wing. I'll have him join it. I'm going to warn him.
The tutelage?
Yeah, I'm going to warn him though.
All right.
I'm going to tell him.
But
listen, a caster can't just be mental. You gotta have a little bit of physical. So we're going to do some physical training too.
It's the prince.
That'll help with his emotion.
You know, well, I would take your comment in all caps in the chat. It's the principle of the matter. If you had spelled principle right.
Listen, I don't have autocorrect on my Twitch overlay. I need autocorrect to live, Matt.
Principal.
Ah, you damn kids. You damn kids with your series and your Cortanas.
Oh my god.
In my day, we would write words on our hands.
To give chat,
How do you spell
to
principal?
give chat
There's just no E in the middle.
Every single day before stream, when I'm writing out our tweet that goes out, I usually have Siri spell 1 to 3 different words for me while doing so.
Well, that's really bad.
But you know what? Thank you, Will, for trusting us with that knowledge. We feel honored that you would share that with us.
The bigger a fool I
Appreciate the
make of myself
vulnerability.
on the internet, the more people that usually show up and follow us, so it's worth it.
Plus, nobody can make fun of you.
Yeah.
You're just like, yep,
I
that's
don't-
right.
that's
I
right.
said that on stream.
Listen,
So, while it causes a bit of stir on campus, and things were rough for a little while because it's made obvious that this guy gets around, that this guy was the one setting fires, and he didn't apologize. There is some tension, some friction and stuff, but eventually it sort of dies down. But there's an underlying unfriendliness in a certain ways. He doesn't really seem to care so much. He's more interested in harnessing his inborn talent and the like. And the fact that you guys are helping him, he starts to thaw towards you guys, and you get the impression that he's kind of, never been socialized properly. He's like a dog that hasn't been socialized properly. He doesn't know how to interact with people. He knows his craft. He knows how to work. He knows how to, deal in a transactional way with people for like business. You guys might be his first friends, other than his cat.
Aww.
That's assuming you guys consider him your friend and you're not, leading him on in a friendship manner.
Ophelia, what if we talk?
He invites you to his birthday and none of you come. No.
I come. Ophelia, what if we taught him the what was it that Kiara would do? She would roll out a mat and she would do poses on it and it was relaxing. What was that called?
Yeah.
Yoga? What if we did yoga with him?
I was wondering where that was going.
Down?
That, there are some deep breathing techniques that she taught that would totally and
Do you think maybe we can teach him that? We could be yoga buddies?
her.
If you guys wanted, that would be, I think, yoga. I don't think would be athletics. I think that would be acrobatics,
Library.
maybe.
Oh yeah.
Or
And
if you could start with library lore. I mean, you're all learning together.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, a couple mornings try and get Ubanu to do some yoga poses. He feels a little ridiculous doing it, and a few students walking by who kind of give him the stink eye don't help. But you guys are persistent. You're patient with him, and he only twings something in his back once.
Choco's very good at yoga.
Choco is showing everyone up. Igra, you're shocked at how good Choco is. Like, he can stand on one leg like a flamingo. It's like, what?
I was like, Choco's trained in acrobatics. What's their about? Oh, they have a plus to F it.
Downward facing terror bird. Name of the episode.
He somehow manages to like rotate like a weather vane or something without seemingly moving.
I think Kiara would be very impressed with your bird, Igor.
I'm really glad I did not just throw him on a pressure plate to set off a trap.
Speaking of which, at one point during the next few weeks before you guys are given another task, everyone here roll me just a flat d20.
I'll just say Aerith is still in her bandages, doing a downward dog pose.
Well, this is like a couple weeks later. People have
Almost
magically
really.
healed by now.
Oh, thank goodness.
Igora probably just came up to you behind you and just slapped you and healed you at some point.
Yes. Zoes will be the first.
Oh, that
Zoes-
actually feels.
Well, no, you guys don't know what the low could be good on this.
Zoes will
Oh.
be the first D20.
I'll roll for Zoe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, I rolled a nat 20. All right. So Zoe, Ophelia is crossing the campus at one point, and you sort of feel like a presence behind you, and it's teacher Gianatimo. He's got a bit of a funny look on his face, and he asks you to come with him to his office.
Oh God. Okay.
Um,
Oh no.
it doesn't seem like you're in trouble or anything. He brings you in his office. He serves you some tea or something, and then he pulls out like almost like a metal baking tray. And sitting on the tray is something kind of funny. It is a slightly big, like an envelope, like something you'd send through the mail or something, and it has a lovely kind of jade green wax seal on it that's been broken. And Gianatimo takes out like a wand and kind of taps the envelope, and you see suddenly like there's almost like a little like swirly jade green light that comes around the envelope. And he kind of looks at you, and he's got a bit of a thoughtful and serious expression on his face. He says, "I've done a little digging about something you and your friends brought to me a while ago. This letter was delivered to Shizere a few weeks ago. And the letter itself inside seemed to be an illusion. There was no actual letter inside. And the real purpose, it determines, of this letter was simply to have someone touch the envelope. And from best I can tell, though the enchantment has faded, it seemed to be a bound item with a pre-programmed modified memory spell attached to it.
Oh no.
This is what's this, and we've recovered a couple others actually, seem to be what has been slowly erasing your friend Kiara's presence from the campus.
Wow.
So I wanted to give Just a warning to you and your friends. I didn't mean to alarm anyone, and I thought I should tell someone as soon as possible. If you receive any mail anytime soon that looks anything like this and has like a seal that you don't recognize, and he kind of flips it over and it's just got like a nonsense kind of return address. Essentially any suspicious mail, don't touch it, not with your bare hands at least, and bring it to the attention of one of the teachers. I'm a little surprised that none of you have received any of these yet already. It's a little odd that there seems to be a selective list of who's getting these letters. We've recovered one from Anchor Root's room, Shizere, where we're trying to investigate without, making a thing out of it. We don't want people getting panicked about having their memories altered. That is magic we are very not down with, you could say, here at the school. It can have some unfortunate implications, especially, for people with magical powers. You don't want being able to like influence people who themselves can cast spells. You could get some sort of chain going.
Oof.
So I can't give you any really information about who actually is maybe sending these letters, what the purpose behind it is, but I did think it's best that I brought it to your attention. I am going to be putting some feelers outside of the campus to try and get some information, but it's hard to tell where to start exactly.
Right. Hard. Oh my goodness.
It's actually quite possible that these letters are not actually even coming through the normal post. We have a suspicion, though we have no real evidence to back this up yet, that they are simply being brought directly to the Magambia and left here in our mail bags and the like. So
if we can keep a track on who's coming and going to the mail bags,
we are looking into that. But
Lovely.
again, when we're dealing with someone who is sending out modified memories willy-nilly, we could be dealing with a chain of unsuspecting dupes.
Right.
That's the problem with modified memory. You can make anyone your pawn practically for a limited scope. You can't, it's difficult to make someone, into, say, a sleeper agent murderer. But if it's as simple as, oh, yes, I agreed to deliver this letter for my mother.
Right.
So if you feel unsafe in your current dormitory because, people know that's where you stay and the like, the option is we can shuffle you all around the campus. But we're not going to insist on that. We feel you all are fairly capable and clever sorts, but we wanted to bring this to your attention.
Yeah, thank you. None of us would ever leave this fire. That's our home that we've made for ourselves.
He smiles at that, and he pulls out like, here, have some toffee. Take some and give it to your friends if you like.
Take a rest.
On a shelf nearby, a statue of a heron that he has begins to go. Oh, I'm sorry. I have other things to attend to. Have a wonderful day. I hope your classes go well.
Thank you. Let everybody know about the letters and be careful. And man, Inkaru and Shadari's rooms.
As you walk into the dormitory, everyone slowly turns and stares at you. They're all holding open letters. No.
Did Janitimo say that maybe they're gonna try to unmodify people's memories? Is that possible?
He said they're looking into a lot of things.
Remember last time, a lot of the
and there is modified memory is a somewhat kind of fragile thing, because if you start poking at people and start making them aware of inconsistencies in their memories, assuming they can pass a save, they eventually will break out of it. Especially if it's something that really goes against their nature. Like if you try and make someone forget something or make them remember doing something that they really wouldn't have done, the cracks begin to appear very quickly if they're made aware of the inconsistencies.
Oh, that's cool. Well, not cool, but
Memories
it's
are
nice.
a tricky thing.
It's nice to learn about that.
But yeah, you guys want to do anything special in the next like week or two before your next task comes in?
Yeah, I kind of want to see if we can't poke some holes in the modify memory. Just
Do you
go.
want to sit down with any particular student and kind of like see, remember this day where we went this thing? Kiara was there, and try and
Yeah, maybe. Was Cesare affected, or did he get the letter to
um
someone first?
I think Shazari still remembers Kiara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anchor Root, and a couple other people around the dormitory, but Shazari doesn't seem to have gotten a letter.
I do remember Anchor Root forgetting something when we asked them.
Yeah. We
Yes,
could
Yeah.
try
you remember Anchor Root
Anchor Root.
specifically at the fighting tournament with the Leshy mechs. Anchor Root now remembers someone else being the MC for it.
Yeah, she said
That's
Miriam.
right.
Um, so I guess I'll talk to Miriyama and ask what she remembers, because if she can tell Anchor Root that she wasn't there.
Um, Miriam remembers MCing.
Yikes.
Hmm.
You remember who won?
Oh, it was you guys, wasn't it?
Do you remember what you gave us?
I I mean, a trophy
Surprise?
probably, wasn't it? I mean,
It
that's
wasn't a trophy.
well, no, that kind of like starts to sweat a little bit.
We have. I got this bag of holding right here. Bobby
Um,
shakes it a little.
anyone who wants to, whoever is participating in this kind of intervention, feel free to give me like a charisma check so you can be really convincing.
Not a charisma check. Can't I make
Oof.
some kind of intelligence since I'm making a logistical?
Actually, well, if you want to like learn, you've probably encountered like references to modified memory in your studies, so feel free to give me maybe like an Arcana check, just to like,
Happily.
yeah, use your knowledge of like, I know how to attack this. Yeah, okay, that she starts to like, you see, it feels like she's getting close to like a breakthrough or something. Does anyone else want to try and assist?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and actually try.
Yeah, Will, what do you think?
Oh, I was just going to help reinforce the different
I'll
memories of the.
do.
Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, so sorry, so sorry. Yeah, go
It's all
ahead, Will.
yours.
I was just
No, please, Aaron, go ahead.
really
No, no, after
deciding on
you. No,
what to
after you.
do. No, I insist. I'll
Why
go
don't
ahead
we? Why
and.
don't we show her the dog figurine?
We sold it.
The the goth court.
The actual prize.
Before I click on anything, I do agree with Avi Avi. Unless if you want me to make a charisma or a.
The more checks, the better, honestly.
Okay, here we go.
But if you're oh no, if your charisma's not great, you can make something else. You could make an Arcana check too.
You said Arcana, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
You specifically know where to poke, sort of in like constructed memories and stuff, like the connective tissue that you can slightly tear apart. And yeah, Miriam seems to have a bit of a freak out, but they do eventually kind of figure out that no, I wasn't there that day. What the hell?
You were
It
one
broke
of the
through the
people fighting with
hippocampus.
Essie.
Oh my God, you're right. I still have a bit of a nick on my leg.
Yeah, yeah. You put up a good fight, but you were knocked around quite a bit. Do you think maybe you can tell Anchor Root? Because she is also under the impression that Kiara was never there.
She agrees to help. So a couple days pass, and sort of an effort starts up in the Aspire dormitory to try and help people through this. A request comes to all of you from teacher Janatimo, and he asks you to meet him in his office after his normal office hours.
Mm. Interesting.
Do you think
Yeah.
we're in trouble?
It's probably just to do with one of the many different problems at the school we've brought to their attention.
I will say if
Yeah.
Genetimo somehow
Um,
lose their
you,
memory, then we know what to do.
you guys do find something interesting in the request letter you come from it, and this is a weird thing considering we have a Gripply in the party. The request to meet him in his office comes with a taxidermied poison dart frog from Genetima's collection of oddities.
That's
So, Ingora,
Is it worth money?
I mean,
So you guys, just because we're getting close to the end of the night, I'm going to get to this block text because this is going to set a stage for something here. You guys come to his office, and he looks a little somber. He doesn't look angry or disappointed in anything you guys, but he looks focused and serious. You received my message. Please sit down. And perhaps you realize something from the silly clue I sent along.
I hold it up. I point to it. I point to me. I point to it. I point to me. And I just...
Yes, I thought about it about immediately after I sent it.
Yeah.
We've been hearing a lot about a new crime boss named Froglegs. She's mostly kept to the shadows, making people afraid to even say her name for fear of being silenced. The more violent her crimes become, however, the more people are willing to set aside their anxiety and speak out about her. For the first time, we have a good lead on where Froglegs can be found. We know why she's been so hard to find in Ntambu. She's not in Ntambu. Instead, she's just outside the city in a swampy, unpleasant area where the city's sewers deposit waste. It's not a place people want to go, which seems to have suited Froglegs well. If we wait much longer, she may relocate. Even if she doesn't, other people will continue to suffer from her reign of crime. A body was found yesterday. A family destroyed. So, we must act. He gives you guys a confident smile, though. I say we, but really I mean you, conversants. I think you are ready for this task. I need you to arrest Froglegs. And that's where we're going to end things for this week.
I just look at everyone. I say, guys, it's time to take down the Gripply mob.
you know you're so we know.
Yeah, you guys are starting your own taking down the mob arc.
oh boy.
This is going to be like, now we've entered the last two, the taxing things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recommend starting next week, though, just as a recommendation. This is going to be a taxing task. So I'm going to recommend you guys are going to start again in Jatamo's office here. Gather as much information as you can and prepare yourselves as much as you can.
I have one question.
Sure.
Is this chapter 3 then, or is this still
No.
chapter 2?
This is the end of chapter 2.
Oh,
Chapter
wow.
3. Well, there's two taxing things. There's finding Froglegs and carving trouble. Chapter 3 is actually going to almost lead directly from this, and is just
cool.
one long kind of dungeon thing, I think.
Oh, fun. All right. Well then, chat.
It is going to be quite the adventure, chapter 3, and it might actually end up being shorter than all these tasks, but it's just, you're going to have like almost no break, I think.
If y'all want to see that and want to see this campaign continue, come and check us out next week. Don't forget to check out our other shows on the channel, like the League of Amazing Adventurers on Wednesday. It's going to be a really good session. It's
going to be very interesting. There's going to be a multi-part infiltration of a crime ring's base.
I look forward to doing that. I look forward to the League of Amazing Adventurers on Wednesday. I look forward to Calling Chronicle on Friday. Y'all, our tabletop streams have some cool stuff going down in them. Calling Chronicles dealing with pirates and sky pirates. The League of Amazing Adventurers is dealing with a topiary dragon. And we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.